To see the future, you really don't need a crystal ball. Turns out, you just have to pay attention. Because the blueprint for the next 10 years, well, it's being drawn up right now, in the headlines we all just scrolled past today. So let's decode it, shall we?
It's so easy to just see the daily headlines as noise, right? A new gadget here, a corporate deal there. But when you really start to connect the dots, a much bigger picture starts to emerge. It's a picture of the next decade, and it's being sketched out for us in real time.
Because what happened yesterday, it wasn't just a bunch of random events. No, it was a series of interconnected moves that are right now fundamentally reshaping our world. And today, we're going to pull back the curtain and take a look at that blueprint.
We're going to break this down into a few key areas. First, how our physical world is getting a massive upgrade. Then we'll look at the race to build the digital brain behind it all. After that, we'll explore how we're going to interact with everything. And finally, how every single piece of this puzzle clicks together.
Okay, let's start on the ground. And I mean that literally. Our streets, our cities, they're becoming these intelligent, data-driven environments. And a huge leap forward just happened in one of the toughest urban landscapes on the planet.
Yep, we're talking about the city that never sleeps. Famous for its yellow cabs, chaotic traffic, millions of people, you know the deal. The thing is, if a new technology can make it there, well, it can probably make it anywhere.
That's right. Waymo just got the very first permit to test its fully autonomous vehicles in New York City. Now, this is not just another test run in some quiet suburb. This is a massive milestone. It signals a huge shift from controlled, predictable environments to the wild, unpredictable reality of a megacity.
So, why is this such a big deal? Well, just think about the difference for a second. As a human driver, you have a pretty limited field of view, right? And your reaction time, while fast, is still measured in fractions of a second. An autonomous car, on the other hand, has constant 360-degree awareness. It's processing data instantly, and it's communicating with a whole network of other cars, making these coordinated decisions. It's a fundamental leap from just one person's perception to a constant networked intelligence.
That is the billion-dollar question, isn't it? For a car to react to a pedestrian stepping off a curb half a block away, or to know that another car 3 blocks ahead just slammed on its brakes, it needs a connection that is lightning fast and super reliable.
And that's exactly where the expansion of 5G comes in. It's basically the critical nervous system for these smart streets. The car's sensors are just constantly gathering these huge amounts of data. And 5G is what lets them transmit that data with almost zero delay. We're talking ultra-low latency. That's what allows the car and the entire network to react in a split second. Without that speed, a city full of smart cars is just a fantasy.
Okay, so if 5G is the nervous system, then what's the brain? We're talking about the silicon, the actual chips that have to process all of this incoming data. And the global race to build and control that brain, it just got very real.
Just in the last day, news broke that the U.S. government has now secured a 10% stake in the chipmaker Intel. Look, this is not just some standard investment. This is a major strategic move on the global chessboard of technology.
To really get the why behind this, you have to look at the challenges facing the entire industry. You've got these incredibly complex global supply chains, you have intense international competition, and the cost of innovation is just staggering. So this government backing, it's a direct response, it's a strategic play to secure domestic production for the hardware that's going to power everything from those self-driving cars to the phone in your pocket.
But, powerful chips are really only half of the equation. What truly matters is the software, the artificial intelligence that runs on them, the ghost in the machine, if you will. And right now, a huge battle is brewing to see who's going to control that intelligence.
And that leads us to the other huge development. Reports are flying that Google and Apple are in talks for Google's AI to power the next iPhone. This is massive. It basically signals the start of the race to become the pocket AI. The default intelligence in your phone that's going to influence how you search, how you communicate, how you live.
So, we've got intelligent streets and these powerful digital brains. But how are we actually going to experience all of this? Well, the answer seems to lie in moving beyond the flat screens we're all glued to and into a more immersive, blended reality.
First up, you've got augmented reality, or AR. The easiest way to think about this is as an intelligent layer on top of the world you're already seeing. Imagine walking down the street and seeing navigation arrows appear on the actual pavement in front of you, or looking at a restaurant and seeing reviews just floating next to the door. It enhances your world. It doesn't replace it.
And then you have the next generation of virtual reality, or VR 2.0. Now, this isn't about layering information on your world. This is about transporting you to an entirely new one. It creates a fully simulated digital environment that you can literally step into and interact with.
The difference, when you boil it down, couldn't be simpler. AR enhances your current reality, while VR replaces it. It's the difference between seeing a weather forecast on your kitchen window versus being instantly transported to a sunny beach. Both of these are poised to totally change how we interact with information.
Okay, we have covered a lot of ground. Smart streets, a new silicon race, whole new realities. A lot. So now let's connect the dots and see the absolutely incredible picture these pieces start to form when they come together.
So let's just quickly recap what the last 24 hours have really shown us. First, our physical world, our cities, is becoming intelligent and connected thanks to things like Waymo and 5G. Second, a global race is on to build and control the core digital brain behind it all, which we saw with Intel and the AI deals. And finally, the way we interact with all of this information is moving beyond 2D screens into AR and VR.
But here's the most important part. These are not separate stories. They are ingredients for a whole new era, and they're all mixing together in real time. Just imagine for a second, riding in that autonomous Waymo car, maybe wearing some AR glasses that show you information about the city as you drive by, all of it powered by a next-gen chip running your personal AI. That isn't science fiction anymore. That is the convergence that these headlines are all pointing to.
Which brings us to our final thought. We started all of this with the story about taking the human out of the driver's seat of a car. But as all these technologies combine, as they create a world that's more connected, more intelligent, and more immersive than ever before, it leaves us with a much, much bigger question. Who or what is really in the driver's seat?